निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महामदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरवश्री नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्तकांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं यदेव यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीननाथं।
हरि बोल।
Sri Prabhupada, when he gave the first initiations, at that time Sri Prabhupada announced that everyone should be chanting. Around that time, Prabhupada said we should chant 64 rounds. And devotees, they made an attempt to chant 64 rounds. But they came back and said, Prabhupada, we cannot. It's so difficult to chant 64 rounds. Prabhupada said, fine, we can chant 32 rounds. But again devotees came back and said, it's so difficult. We cannot chant 32. So Prabhupada said, then we should chant 16 and no less, Prabhupada said. So when Prabhupada instructed us in ISKCON that we chant the 16 round of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, it's actually a great reduction in the standard that Prabhupada had expected initially. Prabhupada's and that was Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur standard, 64 rounds every day, 8 hours minimum. You would have to take. But Prabhupada, when he was preaching the Western countries, especially the Western countries, and now India is also similar lines. To be with the holy name for that long, we don't delight to be with the holy name. And delight here means we don't have the ruchi, we don't have taste. Once we have the taste for chanting holy name, once we develop the ruchi for chanting holy name, then we can be with the holy name for long. So before we develop that delight, first we have to become beautiful. So from beauty to delight, that's the journey we want to cover. But how do you cover that journey? Many people say, I don't have taste, then why should I chant? How can I chant for long? But it's the other way around. When you spend more time with the holy name, when you chant longer or longer duration, that's when taste will come out. Right? So the more you chant, na bhavet grahyam indriya. Krishna, his name, his form, his pastimes, right? His qualities for these blunt material senses cannot capture it. Na bhavet grahyam indriya. But Rupa Goswami is saying, Swayam eva spurati adha. What you need to, as you engage your senses, and especially when you engage your tongue, in chanting the holy name, what will happen? Spurati adha. That taste for chanting the holy name will come out. That taste to be able to be with Krishna. So it takes a lot of purity to be chanting for a long time. But we should find times like these, days like this, events like this, situations we should create around us where we can actually take out time to chant for a long duration. Should take Mahaprabhu especially put forth and he glorified Srila Haridas Thakur. Srila Haridas Thakur was chanting how many rounds? 192 rounds in a month, right?
In a day.
Every day, 21, 22 hours around that much time it takes if you chant 192 rounds. To just be with holy name, you really taste for it if you want to chant that long. even chanting 64 rounds. Like I was mentioning the other day, Srila Thakur would say that if you do not chant 64 rounds, then you must be an animal. Right? Everybody is roaming around crazy. What is the purpose of life? What am I supposed to? They don't know. Right? And our Bhakti Bruhat Bhagavad Maharaj, one of the sannyasi in Islam, he said, my realization is, so Prasad Thakur said, if you do not chant 64 rounds every day, then you must be an animal. He said, if you chant 64 rounds, your first order realization will be that I am the animal. I am an animal only. And when you chant 64 rounds, you'll be like, oh, I'm so pure. I'm so. So the common misunderstanding is, if I don't have taste, why should I chant more? But Rupa Goswami saying, the more you chant, the more you develop taste for it, right? So in our day-to-day life also we find that practical, you find that repeated contact, right? When you have repeated contact, it produces competence. The more repetitive, like when an athlete trains for the first time and running, it's not easy. But then when you see the same athlete running for the 100 meters race in an Olympic event, how is he or she able to run? But they have practiced a lot. Like repeated contact. Right? When a student, especially, I was yesterday with our Prabhu. He started studying medicine. I was asking her, how are you able to memorize so much, so many words and so many terms and so many things? She simply told me, we will continuously study hours and hours when we put. Then it just becomes so easy, part of it. We can seeing the patient, we can write a whole, a big 3-4 pages, we can write. Why? How did that happen? It's simply, right? So, learning music, when we try to learn music, right, we laugh at our own, playing, the way we play the instrument, we laugh at ourselves. But then the same person becomes a pro. What happens is simply repeated contact, right? So what happens? Competence produces appreciation for the same activity, right? So repeated contact will bring competence. Competence will bring appreciation. And appreciation only turns into taste. So when we are chanting for a long duration like this, we continuously chant, then we find competence will come. And we will be able to chant. And that competence only will bring appreciation for that activity. Chanting is so nice, right? Otherwise we may feel, oh, it's a burden. Once again I have to chant. Why did the sun rise? Why did the calendar date change? Why is this activity part of devotional service? Everything else seems so nice. But every morning we chant, right? So, Sri Rupa Goswami, he gives, there are 9 stages of bhakti. Okay? Adau Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anarthya Nivritti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava and Prema. What do we want to attain? We want to attain love of God, Prema. But where does it begin? Adau Shraddha. Little faith, some faith on the spiritual path, on spiritual knowledge, faith in Guru, faith in Krishna, faith in God. Adau Shraddha. When we come with that, when we have that little faith, then the most important thing that is needed is sadhu sangha, association of like-minded devotees, like-minded spiritualists. And when that association is there, together what should they do in association? Bhajana kriya. They do bhajan, and they do chanting, right? This is the dharma for this age. Krityadhyayato Vishnu Trekayam Yajato Makhai Dvapare Parichayayam Kalauka Dhari Sankirtanam. So there are 4 yugas. You all know there are 4 yuga cycles. Time is divided into 4 yugas, like we have morning, afternoon, evening and night. Right? So simply the 4 yugas are Satya, Treta, Dwapar and Kali. And now Satyuga is going on, right?
Kali.
Yes, it is. Satyuga, right? No? Then which Yuga? Kali Yuga. So Kali Yuga is the best of all ages?
No, it's the first of all.
Yes.
It's the worst because we are around. Because we are around, it has to be worst of the ages. So the scriptures tell us how the Satyuga was the best for spirituality. Anything spiritual, Satyuga was best. Then from Satyuga, 20, let's say it was 100%, spirituality was 100%, in Satyuga. By the time it was Dwapar Yuga, right, it reduced by 25%. So Treta Yuga 25%, Dwapar Yuga another 25%, and Kali Yuga, how much is remaining?
25%.
Just 25% is remaining. So in Satyuga, whoever created Satyuga, for them 100%, whatever they had, no, it's not mine. It belongs to God. It belongs to Krishna. Sab bhumi Gopal ki. मेरा 1000 स्क्वायर फुट छोड़ दो। सब कुछ भगवान का है। तुम अपना क्या सब कुछ तो भगवान का है। मेरा 1000 स्क्वायर फुट को देखने का नहीं। But in Satyuga, the understanding was 100% everything belongs to God. But when it came to Treta Yuga, 25% reduction. So what would people do? They would go to an open ground with all their wealth. They would make a circle. They would draw a circle on the ground. And all their wealth they would throw in the air. Whatever falls within the circle belongs to God. If anything falls outside, belongs to me. 25% reduction. Then came the Dwapar Yuga. Now people would go, again 25% reduction. So how much is remaining now? 50%. Now people would go to the ground, an open ground. They would draw a line. They would throw all the wealth in the air. Whatever falls on the right side belongs to God, and whatever falls on the left side belongs to me. Now Kali Yuga, only 25% is remaining, right? So people go to the ground, they will draw a line also, they throw all the money in the air. Whatever God can catch belongs to me, and whatever falls on the ground belongs to me. Right? So different ages, because spirituality and purity is reducing. So accordingly, method also is given. The most difficult was Treta Yuga. So the most difficult was Satyuga. I'm sorry. Kriteya Dhayato Vishnu, going to the forest, like Dhruva Maharaj. He went to the forest for meditation. Very difficult. If you read Dhruva's austerities, people had to do this to attain God. Yes, if you go to Vishwamitra, going and performing meditation, right? Satyuga. Then came the Treta Yuga, right? So, how many of you were there in Satyuga? You were all there. Why do you think you were there? Just because.
That's what we realized that we have been there all the time. We just forget, and because we do not practice what we should be practicing, and that's why we keep on.
So first of all, you are soul. That's why you should have been always around, and you are not liberated yet. That means you must be there. Must have been there, right? So with every age, right, now 100% spirituality was there, and most difficult path was given. Dhyato Vishnu, perform meditation on Lord Vishnu. Tretayam Nirito Maki, then begin the yajna process. Any evidence for it? Any evidence? Anybody who was doing meditation before and then did yajna in the next stage was alive around that much time? Scriptural evidence. Dasharatha Maharaj was there in Satyuga. Dasharatha Maharaj did yajna, Uttargami Shri yajna. Somebody was around. I have already answered. Vishwamitra. He was performing meditation before, and to break his meditation, Apsaras were sent. But now when the age is changed, he comes to Dasharatha Maharaj and says, I want Ram. For what? My yajna is being obstructed by these demons. To kill these demons, I need help, I want Ram. See, now because the Yuga has changed, he is doing the next level process. That is Yajna. Now, Dwapare Paricharyayam, in Dwapar Yuga the process is, process was, you can say, process was elaborate deity worship. Huge temples, huge deity worship, elaborate. Even now if you go to Tirupati Balaji or if you go to Srirangam, wow, such worship is going on. Practically not India, all the temples are now broken and hardly anything remaining now. Right? But South India you can even now see the remnants of it. Right? So Dwapari Paricharyayam and Kalauta Hari Sankirtana. In Kali Yuga, the process is the chanting of the holy name. Now, when the process is given, how much time are you giving in a day to apply that process in your life? That will determine the success. How much time are you able to offer? The process is the simplest. If ever our mind says, it is so difficult to move the mala, no, it's not difficult. It's not difficult. What is difficult is our mind. Right? Our mind doesn't agree. That taste is not there. All the taste for everything material is so much. Very natural taste for any material activity. Nobody needs to inspire me there. But for spiritual, 25% taste minimum. Right? So, Adam Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha. So when we come in association, what should we do? We should be able to inspire each other to perform bhajan. Right? If we come in association, once again we do some talk that would have happened anyways otherwise also. That defeats our whole purpose. So when we come to the temple, we should be able to find ourselves when we sit with devotees. Are we able to discuss Krishna Katha? Are we able to invite another to come? Let us sit and chant. Let us sit and read something. Let us sit and talk about Krishna. Right? That's pure. So Sadhu Sangha, what will happen? What should happen in Sadhu Sangha is bhajana. You should do your spiritual practices. Bhajana Kriya, what will perform bhajan, then what will happen? Anartha Nivritti. Whatever is anartha, the unwanted things in the heart, right? The lust, the anger, the pride, greed, envy, illusion. Anartha Nivritti will happen when you perform bhajan. Right? After anartha Nivritti, what will happen? You will get love of God. No, not so easy, not so soon. After anartha Nivritti, what will happen? Nishtha. What is Nishtha?
Form Shraddha.
Determination.
For what?
For attaining Krishna's love.
Determination for bhajan. Earlier, your bhajan was intermittent, getting disturbed because of anarthas. Prayaha anarthas, most anarthas will be gone at this stage. Now, nishtha means determination to perform bhajan. Right? Like, in Linwood, the program that we conduct, how many participants are there generally? If you have any database for it? Generally, if you can say some number, those who are getting connected, cultivated, should be around few hundreds.
Under 100 people, around 50 to 70.
50 to 70.
Up to 50 to 70. You can see with this how many have got the determination. Let me sit and chant. Sit at one place and just chant the Nishtha, determination. Right? And determination also means, Nishtha also means firm faith. Now, no situation in personal life, any situation in this world, nothing can budge this person from practicing Krishna consciousness. Fixed. And no matter what happens in life, chanting will not stop. Association will not stop. Practice will not stop. That is Nishtha. And after Nishtha comes the stage that we are talking about, which is taste will come. Right? Earlier you were still supposed, you were pushing yourself. Practice, wake up. It is so difficult. Right? हर रोज सुबह लगता है अलार्म का गला दबाओ काय को बचता नहीं अलार्म नहीं लगा का अलार्म you only have put the alarm काय को उसका गला दबाता है but then if the taste is there you will wake up even before the alarm rings. Yes, I have to chant. The best part of my day is when I am with the Guru, when I am with the Guru. That is taste. a natural taste. Yeah, I have time with me. What do I do? Come on, let me chant. Right? That's so naturally we go towards the mobile phone now. Instagram, WhatsApp. There's a taste for it. Right? Just few years back, these apps were not there. Just continuous usage of it. And you start deriving pleasure from it. Right? So Prabhu was always saying, you have to wait till the time Ruchi comes. You have to wait means don't do anything. No. Spend more time with the Holy Name. Spend more time in bhajan. As you spend more time with the Holy Name, the natural taste will awaken once again. And so when we chant the Holy Name, we should not think, oh, when I'm chanting the round, when I'm moving the mala, what's happening? If only the counter is going down. No. When you fill a bucket, a drop, and what will happen by a drop falling into the bucket? You will find within some time the bucket is full. A drop and a drop and a drop. And they say, there was a cartoon that would come on Doordarshan. Something. एक चिड़िया अनेक चिड़िया एक और एक बनते गा one and one becomes together. So when we chant, right, when we feel like when I go to the gym, what happened today? No difference again. After 6 months, physical strength, your muscles are built up. So similarly, when we chant every day, the mind will put this down. What's happening? Wait. The Holy Name is having its effect. And so Prabhu would say, what have I done? Many times people would ask, Swamiji, what is your miracle? All Swamis show miracle. And Prabhupada would say, my devotees are my miracle. Look at this, what were they and what have they become? Right? Sometimes our parents or our friends, they will only say, you're so nasty. How have you become? You know in your college days, you know everything about what happened to you. How have you become like this? What did we do? We simply chanted the Holy Name. It's the dharma for this age. Right? So, the idea behind conducting programs like this is where we have continuous, for a long time we chant, is that the more time we spend for the dharma for this age, right? What will happen? Our hearts will transform. So the 6th canto, first chapter 19 verse, there's a nice verse. Sakrima Krishna Padara Vindayo Nivechitam Tad Gunaragiyaiha Nateyama Pashabhatascha Tad Bhata Swapne Vipashyanti Chira Nishkritaha. Shukadeva Goswami is saying, Sakrim Mana, Sakrim means even once. Sakrim Mana Krishna Padara Vindayo. Even if once you focus your mind on the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, Niveshitam, Tad Gunaragiyaiha. If you are attached, if you get attached to the qualities of Krishna, what will happen? You will get completely free from all sinful reactions because they have thus accepted the true method of atonement. Shukadeva Goswami begins Ajami's pastime like this. Sakre, once if you will. He gives the whole pastime of Ajami, and at the end of the pastime he once again says a similar verse. Once he chanted the name of Narayan, and not even the son of the name of his son. He did not even chant the name of God as Narayan. He chanted the name of his son. But even that once chanting of Narayan, what happened? Ajami could go back home back to God. Mriyamano Hare Nama. Mriyamana means he was on the deathbed. At that time, Hare Nama Grinan. He chanted the name of Hari, but his name was Putra Upacharitam. He was calling out to his son. Ajamilo Api Agad Nama. He summarized the whole pastime. The whole thing began with even once if you remember Krishna, so powerful. Right? And then at the end he's saying, at the point of death, Ajamil chanted the name, Kim Uta Shraddhaya Dhanam. Shukdev Goswami says, if unknowingly he chanted the name of Narayan, and the benefit was he went back home back to Godhead. But if you chant the same holy name with faith, Shraddha, Kim Uta Shraddhaya Dhanam, what will happen? So how many of you, if you are given an option, dirty water and pure water, which one will you choose? Pure water. How many of you choose quantity over quality?
Quality.
Quality. When you are chanting the holy name, quality comes only after quantity. Imagine if Srila Prabhupada would not have given 16 rounds of chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. How many rounds would we chant? Otherwise, everyone claims themselves to be a Hindu, a spiritualist. Now we are aware of Rama and Krishna and Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita. How many are chanting? If it was not instituted by Srila Prabhupada that you have to chant 16 rounds every day, what would we do? We would hardly chant. They are not chanting. Now Krishna is saying in the Gita, Satatam Kirtayanto Mam. What does it mean? Satatam means always, constant, all the time. Means 24 hours you should chant the holy name. This is Krishna's expectation. How many people have commented on Bhagavad Gita? And how many of these commentaries talk about chanting the holy name? They are not able to pick it up. What is Lord Chaitanya saying? Kirtaniya Sada Hari. What does it mean? Always. Sada means all the time. 24 hours you should chant. Now what has Prabhupada told us? How many rounds to chant?
16.
And 16 rounds takes how much time?
2 hours.
Is it a good concession?
Very good.
Solid concession. At least every day when we sit and chant 16 rounds, we should feel I'm doing very less. From what is Krishna's expectation, what is Lord Chaitanya's expectation, Srila Prabhupada's mercy is, he has made it very less. But we should not just remain with the least amount of, least. We should want to do it more. The more we chant, right? Days like this, like Ekadashi, days like this when devotees can come together and we can take the same medicine, the same process, if we can intensify, right? So you will find when you chant more and when you especially chant with devotees, you will find next day morning 16 rounds will be like a cakewalk. So easy. But another few days, and once again you feel like climbing a mountain would have been easy, but chanting is so difficult, right? And the only realization devotees have is after 16 rounds, hang that Vrindavan something. Hang it. I don't want to see that Vrindavan. Next morning, Munde Vrindavan Gaya Kiran. Right? So, right? And you will find those who are not chanting and they come to the temple or you meet them and they begin chanting. Even those who chant 1 round or 2 rounds, they start saying, I'm feeling so nice. My bad habits are gone. And so many things I felt I could not do, I'm able to do. When we see 1 or 2 rounds can do that. Imagine 16 rounds when you are chanting every day, it is having effect. Imagine 64 rounds if we sit and chant together, what will the effect? So Lord Chaitanya, Nam Akari Bahuda, Nijas Sarva Shaktis. What has Lord Chaitanya done? He has invested all his energies in the holy name. So if you want to charge yourself spiritually, will depend on how much you plug yourself in for how long. Right? So the longer duration of chanting does help. Right? So we should not be, oh, it's just another thing that we are doing. No. We are applying the principle for this age, the dharma for this age, and prolonged chanting will also have an effect on it. Shravadans Katha Krishna, Punya Shravana Kirtana, What will be the benefit? Shrumatam, if we hear the holy name, Hridayantastohi Abhadrani. All the Abhadrani, all the Abhadra in the heart will go away. But can they come back? Again, the Abhadras can come back, the dirty things can come back. This verse says no. Vidhunoti. Dhunoti. They could have just said Vidhunoti. Dhunoti means you wash your clothes, but their name can become dirty. But Vidhunoti means especially chanting of holy name, what will happen? When it's trying to chant attentively, offenselessly, oh, these anarthas cannot come back. Okay? So just as when we plant the seed will not become a tree, or the seed will not start bearing fruits. The seed will turn into a sapling, a plant, and leaves and fruits. Right? Similarly, what will happen as we chant? Gradually, the love of God develops in our heart, right? And we can intensify that process by increasing our, connection with the holy name, okay? As much as we chant. So we should not think, quality should precede quantity. No, it's the other way around. First quantity. So Srila Prabhupada asked Prabhupada, what should we focus on? Quality or quantity? When I chant, I don't feel like I'm chanting properly. Better, 16 rather than chanting 16 rounds. If I chant one good quality round, is it beneficial? Prabhupada said no. First quantity, and that quantity will bring quality. And that quantity is not just number game. That quantity is how much nice quality, time we have spent with holy name. Right? So the quantity, if it's there, and that's why Prabhupada quantified it to 16 rounds. So, so many people, they die by sleeping. Right? If we see the statistics for last night, so many may not have been woken up to see today's day. But if we are seeing today's day, that means God is giving another 24 hours to us. That means Krishna has invested another 24 hours in us, into us. Right? If Krishna starts asking, what is my ROI? What is ROI? Return on investment. So Krishna gave you 24 hours. How much time have you given back in the day? What time can you claim that yes, Krishna, I did this for you? That's the chanting time. Because Krishna is in dharma for his aim is to chant the holy name. If you are standing in front of Krishna and Krishna asks you, so what is my ROI? Today, when you chant for a longer time, you can say, Krishna, I'm giving you more ROI. I'm returning you more. So 16 rounds is good for every day that we chant. But chanting holy name for a longer duration, we're also pleasing Krishna more. Right? So our prayer should not be that Krishna, please give me the taste to chant the holy name. We should pray, Krishna, please give me the capacity to chant for a longer time. Taste will automatically come. Right? So we should not say, Krishna, please purify my heart. Purification is a byproduct. Our prayer should be, Krishna, give me the capacity. Krishna, give me the association where I get the inspiration to chant. I just finished with this. That's why you'll find, if you read Parikshit Maharaj, what was Parikshit Maharaj's prayer in the first canto? He says, I want association of sincere devotees. What do devotees do when they come together? Macchitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti jaramanti ja. Another devotee in Bhagavatam is Dhritarashtra. Right? What is Dhritarashtra's prayer before dying? Before his four verses he says, he recites. And these 4 verses are considered just, so the Gopi Geet is the topmost, the prayers that the gopis offer. And the second level is Dhritarashtra's prayers. And Dhritarashtra also, and gopis also surely, but Dhritarashtra especially, he prays to the Lord, please give me birth again. For what? So I want to associate with your devotees, and I want to chant the holy name. When Hanuman, was called for, Ram's Rajya Abhishek is done. Right? He's sitting there on the throne, and everyone is coming one by one and taking blessings. And when Hanuman's turn came, Hanuman said, "Let me remain in this world till the time Ramayana will be, recited." That was one instance. And even when Lord Ram decided, I have decided I want to go back to my abode now, Saket Dham. Again Hanuman was called for. Hanuman said, I don't want to come. I want to remain chanting your name. And I want to remain in this world till the time Ramayana will be chanted and heard. Right? So those were our test of our sincerity is if we have full faith that dharma for this age is to chant the name of God. And how much are we to apply ourselves to chanting of holy name? And especially on days like this, how much capacity have we developed? We have to check, test our capacity to be with holy name, to chant the holy name for a longer duration. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Shri Ram Prabhu ki jai. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Gaur Premanande. Hare
Krishna, let's welcome His Grace Kanai Guru by saying Hari Bol 3 times.
Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol!
So, His Grace Kanai Guru has been preaching around Maharashtra. Multiple centers are under his care. In Pune, especially, we have beautiful temples coming in Vishal, the south area. Next to that is a tower that is just for devotees. So it's a beautiful project that just started with a simple Bhagavad Gita class where 20 people were attending. This was 2014. Then what I noticed was the class, it was becoming a houseful. So the host bought a new flat, bigger flat, there in the room, and it was becoming houseful. So he broke down the walls. It was becoming a houseful, and that is where we had to go to a gymkhana, a YMCA type of facility. It was COVID time, so that was acquired as a temporary temple, and now a real temple is coming. And
the idea is that all the Swamitji devotees, 104 families, 104 families and brahmacharis, and everyone will come together in the temple hall, and every morning chant 16 rounds together.
And the secret part is all the prasadam 3 times a day will be done in the temple kitchen. So Mataji don't have to cook.
Oh, Hari Bol!
We have preaching and services. It's amazing to and chant. So today's retreat, we would like to offer it for the prayers of health of Anandaram Prabhu, who is our congregation member who went through a heart surgery. And with that prayerful mood in mind, let's feel fortunate that we are in a very secure environment where we can focus on holy name in the association of His Grace Kanai Guru, who has a real taste of chanting. Usually he likes to close his eyes and complete 64 malas. And I hijacked the agenda. I said it needs to be congregation friendly, so we'll have translates, we'll have prasadam, everything combined. So at lunchtime, after that, Harivansh Prabhu is coming, and he will take us through a journey of Shishtastakam with the song and music and holy name. With that, at the end of the day, please report your rounds back to somebody who you know. So if it is UW team, please report it back to say Raja Prabhu. And if it is a new team, please report it back to the Maharaj Prabhu or Ishtan Mataji. We keep a tab of all the rounds. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, yeah, we'll check.
Oh.